And the car we're still working through the tune situation, and in the next couple weeks we're gonna like dial that in. But everything went on in one day, which was surprising to me. But thankful for Brandon and Josh, and they knocked that out. I was there assisting, but we got
You
that
didn't
done.
do shit. Don't
Nah, I
fucking
did.
play.
I did. You know what? Normally, I don't like working on my car, particularly the Mercedes, because to me it's a little intimidating. Because when someone says like Mercedes or European, they think complicated, and obviously there's a lot of components I didn't know too much about, like internally with all the wires and all the coolant hoses, and there's a million hoses in the engine bay. But after this weekend, I feel way more comfortable doing anything with that car. Like now that it's been taken apart and we put it back together, and I've seen that whole thing go, it's not that complicated. Not as complicated as I thought it would be, and I feel comfortable enough working on it myself if I'm in a pinch.
Well, that's good to hear. I'm glad you've gained some confidence watching other people take apart your shit.
I was there. I was there all
He was
10
there
hours.
fucking, making peanut butter and jelly sandwiches and coffee.
But like with any aftermarket installs, it never goes on perfectly.
What happened?
The auxiliary heat exchanger, the bracket that holds that, obviously for the smaller OEM unit, fit perfect. But when you put the larger unit in, you had to cut the bracket to fit the hose back to where it was, because the hose would rub against the bracket. So that had to be cut and bent. But that cleared, and that was good. For whatever reason, the intercooler that we received, one of the fittings was the wrong ID, like inside the hole.
And a diameter. No shit. That's weird.
So in lack of time, because like I didn't want to have to send this whole unit back just for one fitting, we drilled that out. We obviously had like painter's tape underneath to catch all the shards, and then we blew it out and all this stuff before we installed it, but we fixed that. And then the map sensor, or the sensor that's on the intercooler, the O-ring, like the OEM O-ring, didn't fit well on the aftermarket unit. So we had to get a new O-ring, which luckily he had that. And then where it's screwed down, like the insert for the threaded portion, that wasn't flush. So we had to make that flush because it was like sitting at an angle, so the bolt wouldn't go in straight. So we had to fix that.
Oh my God.
So yeah, it's just like little things like that took more time than anticipated because we had to fix those things. But after all said and done, everything was installed in a day. And yeah, other than the tuning, which is going to take the longest just to get it like right. Yeah, everything went on pretty smooth.